Hello, everyone. I am Monica Hoyer, but we'll do introductions in a minute. Kelly, do you want to run through these Doug meetup slides and I'll steer for you?
Yeah, sounds good. So welcome everyone. I think everyone here is probably familiar with the Doug community already, but if you're not, the Doug community is so much more than just the meetup that you're doing today. They also have an online forum. They have a lot of training programs. They have in-person events, regional meetups, and a lot of sponsorship opportunities as well. So we are very grateful for Doug for providing this platform for us to host these meetups where we can learn more about marketing within this channel. So rules of engagement today, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I always feel silly presenting this slide because I don't think we need it, but be courteous, contribute to the meeting wherever you feel you want to chime in. We always encourage you to come off mute, and I'm pretty sure Monica and Amy will be asking some questions in the audience today. And another rule that we have is that we're not here to sell anything. We're just here to educate, and we love when we can have two-way conversations where everyone is chiming in on whatever the marketing topic is, which today is AI email magic. And, when we want to be able to talk back and forth about problems we're having, how we can help solve that, what's working, what's not, we're really here to learn from each other. I talked a little bit about this already, but yeah, I think I hit on almost all of these. But I did not mention the Doug YouTube channel. So Doug does have a great YouTube channel where all of these meetups are recorded and uploaded there. So if there's a topic that you missed from a prior month that you want to go look back on, it'll be on their YouTube channel. Also great if you learned a lot in a certain meetup and you want to share it with a colleague. Regionals. There's some in-person regionals coming up soon. We've got Denver, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Tampa, and then we've got some international ones as well. So we've got two coming up in Africa, which is really exciting. I think that's the first for the Doug team, and then Copenhagen as well. And then I don't think we're supposed to call it a regional. I think it might be more of it's almost a regional, but it's we've got September 16th. It has not been announced yet for Montreal. So if you're in Canada or Montreal and you want to join us, that's taking place September 16th. And of course, Doug's main event of the year, DynamicsCon, their week-long in-person conference, that's taking place in Las Vegas, May 12th to 15th next year. And early bird prices are already on sale if you want to grab a ticket for that.
Awesome.
So, Monica, over to you.
Here we go. AI email magic, conjuring up campaigns that wow. So real quick introductions. I'm Monica Hoyer. I'm the Director of Marketing and Software Sales at Enfluence. We are a marketing automation platform and digital ad agency. And we're located in Kansas City. Our marketing automation platform seamlessly connects with Dynamics 365. And so if you're interested in marketing automation, come by and learn more about Enfluence. And Amy, I'll turn it over to you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Amiee Keenan, founder of the ISV Society. So I help ISVs do joint marketing initiatives, collaboration, plan, and execute initiatives with to get in front of more partners and customers. Do a lot with Doug. So Monica and I presented at the partner event before DynamicsCon in May. So we're kind of extending the content from that session and bringing you some more great information all about email, because her and I could talk about that all day because it's our favorite topic.
All day long, all day long. But we won't keep you here all day long. So just to run through our agenda really quickly, why AI and email right now, where AI works its magic, some limitations and cautions that we all want you to be aware of. And then we're going to give you some tricks and tips for your next campaign. And we're also going to challenge you to do a few things after this meeting. So, but feel free. This is a conversation. I don't want people to be quiet. You can stay off camera if you want, but we always love to see your faces. And I know a lot of people, at least on the East Coast, are probably eating lunch as well. So we get it, but definitely ask questions because we love answering questions. And we're going to ask some throughout the presentation. So here are a few statistics about AI in email and I do want to make a little like asterisk note on this, that marketers have actually been using AI for predictive analytics and personalized communication way before AI was even like a thing, like way before people were talking about it. Now, what kind of prompted the AI fad that's happening right now is those language learning tools, learning language tools. And so keep in mind that any marketing automation that you did, any workflow that you did, that's AI. So it's taking an action, you're telling it what the action is you want it to take, and then executing on that action. But now what we're seeing is that almost half of every email marketer is using AI to create content, which is just astounding. 21% average ROI increase for businesses using AI and email campaigns. I do have a little bit of a personal note here. My partner was looking for a job a few years ago, and he started using AI to write his cover letters, and he got better response from those AI cover letters than the ones that he wrote himself. So it's not surprising to me that our ROI increases when you use AI, because it's true in just everyday communication as well. And then 64% of abandoned cart emails leverage AI for that personalization. And again, this is what I was going back to what I said in the beginning, is that marketers have been using AI in a lot of ways before this actually became a thing. So don't think that this is new for email marketers. Remember that this is actually been going on for a while.
I would think actually these numbers would have been higher, but that's just me.
I think I took these from a report, or from some statistics from
They'll definitely go up from
last
here.
year.
That's for sure.
Right,
So.
exactly. So there are a bunch of different tools out there. I started to, when I was putting together the presentation, we started to make some recommendations on tools, but I kind of scrapped that because there are so many tools out there, and I don't want to tell you to use one tool when you're using another tool. Amiee and I will refer to some tools as we're presenting some of these slides, but really content creation, there are so many language learning models out there. ChatGPT, I've started using Claude AI. I don't know if anybody else has been using that, but I started using that. Gemini, of course. What I found, and Amiee, please jump in here, but what I found is I'll do something in one and then get pretty close and then throw it into another one to see what that one does. Or run the same prompt in two and see how they overlap, which is super interesting. But then also what different information comes from one versus another, and kind of merge the stuff. Because again, it's not just prompt, write it, and throw it into your email. It's prompt and then ask another question and then refine it, and then use your own knowledge to make it better.
Yeah, and I mean, we all say AI does take a lot of time off of our hands in a way, but we also want to replace that time when we're using AI for content, like Monica said, checking things, like putting in as much content as we can into AI to make sure it gives us what we need as accurately as possible, especially based on our voice, our branding, and so forth. So that time that we're saved, I think we have to pour it into making sure we get the best content out of that tool, whatever tool that is. And I use Perplexity too, Kelly. I was going to mention that later. So here's to comment.
Personalization and segmentation. Obviously, personalization and segmentation, those are all AI. And when you're using your marketing automation tool, they should have all of that built in. So, being able to throw in a comment or a note in there to say, okay, use first name here, or refer, we'll dive into this a little bit more on how to make an entire email personalized by bringing in content. Optimization and delivery, we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then automation. Again, automation has been around for a long time. Automation is AI. So, that that's kind of a no-brainer. And then I do have a question on the slide in my notes, and I would love to hear from you. You can throw it in the chat if you want. You can come off mute if you want, whatever. But Kelly started this. What was the first AI tool you tried for email? And did it live up to the hype? So I would say that because I've been building workflows in a marketing automation platform for a very, very long time, I would say that I've been using AI, and that was iContact I used because I was working there, and it was their workflow tool that I used as my AI tool. And yeah, it lived up to the hype because it meant that I didn't have to do as much work. I didn't have to sit there and wait till a certain day to hit send. I created the whole thing and it sent in a regular cadence. And so, yeah, I was so excited when that happened. Amy, what about you?
The first tool I used for content, and I did not like at all. And then I went all into ChatGPT. Was called Copy AI.
Oh,
And I just didn't like the way it worked, the content you put in, what it spit out. It's very, I mean, maybe I just didn't take my time to use it, right? But like you had to put in a category, you had to put in a lot of information, which I get, but it just wasn't very user friendly to me.
mm-hmm.
So I dropped it pretty quickly and obviously went to Chat GPT for mostly everything. But I just started using the StoryBrand framework AI. I don't know if anybody's done that yet. It's called, there's a free version and a paid version. I haven't done the paid version yet, but it's called StoryBrand AI. And obviously we're in the industry of storytelling, and storytelling should be in any industry, but it's supposed to really help you with that, telling your story in different areas, like your website analyzes your website. I know we should go into this when we talk about a tool, so I'll wait. Don't
No,
jump the gun.
This is the part where we're talking about tools.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's storybrand.ai. So it will you put in your website and it will analyze it for you and give you feedback on your website and where you can improve it.
Awesome.
I'm just starting to use it, so I don't know a lot about it yet, but
yeah.
I'm excited to see how it helps me in those areas that where we need to tell more stories, right? So I will gladly share all my findings with you all.
I can't wait.
I love that you're using that, Amy. I haven't tried it yet, but I know that Donald Miller, who's the owner of StoryBrand AI, is like the king of storyteller, and he's like of storytelling in general, and how to bring. What I find interesting is how he can bring storytelling into B2B marketing, and he's worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, and so it's really cool that someone who specializes in that has come out with his own AI tool. So I think that's one for us marketers to definitely keep an eye on. But that question you had, Monica, of like, which AI tool did we all use first? For mine, it ties into what you talked about earlier about how marketers have been using AI for years without, necessarily calling it AI. And my first one would have been A/B testing on MailChimp 15 years ago.
Yep.
That was a form of AI too back then. So, we're looking at using AI. We're using new tools now, and we're coming up with new use cases of how we can use it. But as marketers, you're right. This is not new to us.
Right.
No.
Yep. And I do know that someone on my team here who works in the analytics department is on the call. I'm not going to make him talk, but I'm sure he's using AI to help with analytics and help analyze numbers and stuff. And so it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
It is. I even use it. So like I'll put in my LinkedIn profile link, right? And say to ChatGPT, can you analyze my posts for the last month and tell me what worked well, what didn't work well, what should I focus on? Like, it's just crazy the things you can use it for, not just creating content, but helping you just get better as a marketer and analyzing and obviously getting the data in a much more streamlined, quicker way than we could on our own.
Yep. All right. So where AI uses its magic. So
Everywhere.
everywhere. It's everywhere. See, we just, wave our magic wands and it happens, which I think is really cool. So we're going to dive into this. This is going to be the meat of our conversation today. AI, and we're going to go into examples of all this: subject line generation, segmentation and personalization, send time optimization, predictive content curation, and automated journeys. So Amiee, you're going to kick things off with subject line generation. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, so I am all about always trying to have better subject lines and always tweaking them and always using the latest trends, tips, tricks, all that stuff. So some of the ideas that I put here are what really have been popular right now are these types of subject lines based on theft. So like steal this email template. Numbers, obviously numbers are always good to include in your subject line. So 3 secrets every marketer should know. And there's a newer one, lowercase, like putting everything in lowercase letters, because obviously that's going to draw the eye, right? We're so used to seeing things so streamlined and formal from our subject lines. When you actually change it up and do something totally different, like all lowercase, it really catches people's eyes. As well as very simple, short subject lines. So maybe it's 1 or 2 words. And then, of course, reverse psychology. We all know how we just have to do what it says not to do. So you probably won't open this, but you will, because that's just what our human brain tells us to do. We need to open this because it says we shouldn't. So these are just some of the types of subject line content that's really popular right now, the types of things that you can do to using your subject lines, and of course A/B test. So maybe when you A/B test, maybe you do one's theft and one's numbers, one's lowercase, one's reverse psychology. So you can really test the different ways you can create those subject lines and which ones really resonate with your audience. Because that's what it all comes down to, is what's going to resonate with your audience, what's going to get them to open it. So you really need a powerful subject line to get them to open this email. That's your first step when you're sending out an email, is having that powerful subject line, because we need to get them to open it. And then once we open it, then we need to have the really great content inside. But we can't get them to open it unless we have a great subject line.
I was at a conference recently. I can't remember. May has blended together because I had 2 conferences back to back. But at one of them, somebody said you should send out an oops email, even if it's not an oops email. Because people want to see the car crash. That's why there's rubberneckers. People want to see people in a weird, like in those situations. So they're gonna open an email that says oops. And similar to oops, there's an oops for you. Similar to the reverse psychology, you probably aren't going to open this email, and people are going to be like, oh, well, maybe I should open that email.
Why am I not opening this email?
Right, exactly. Why don't you want me to open this email? Segmentation and personalization.
Yeah, so I wanted to put in some different ideas here of what types of emails I get and some that I don't get, because obviously my name's not Jake. But like in the first one you see here, it has my name in the subject line as well as in the email itself. So don't feel like you just and don't feel like you just have to use name in the subject line, right? But this is just some areas where it might make that catches my attention, because I see my name there and I know I'm going to read it. As well as in the first sentence of your email. Are you getting the most out of your, I don't even know what that is.
Todoist.
Todoist. I don't even know what it is. But anyway, like it's just figuring out ways to put in somebody's name within the email, not just the subject line, not just, hey, hi, first name. I know a lot of us do that, but where we can put it in throughout the email. And you don't have to just put it in once, right? You can put it in several different areas. And just something that's totally different, right? Grammarly sends you a report each week catered to you on what you've been doing, your writing streak, your achievements, all this percentages, right? So that's something that's totally personalized to me, because I use Grammarly every week and it gives me this report. So and even something like that is very beneficial, because it's telling me from the tool that I use how I'm using it, where I'm using it well, how I'm benchmark against others using Grammarly. So I thought that was a good good example of just something totally different than just sending out an email. This is something that actually, say someone uses your email platform, right? And you give them stats every week. Hey, you sent out 50 emails this week, and these are the best ones. And here's the subject line, like a total report on whatever tool you're using, and gives you a weekly snapshot every week. So that's a really cool way to segment and personalize an email as well.
Yeah, and I like the achievements thing on the right-hand side. Like you've gotten 22 achievements. See what other ones you can get. And that's everything about those Grammarly emails is personalized. Like they literally just pop in content, and we're going to talk about that too here in a minute. Here are some other examples. Talk me through these.
Oh yeah, so I love this one because obviously we are all about technology and software. So I just thought this was really cool. Don't put this off like a software update. I don't know. I just love that.
Everybody puts off software updates. They're so worried they're never going to find anything again.
Right. So obviously they abandoned their cart or they didn't finish checking out. So this is the email they send out to make sure to remind them that they have this in their cart still and they need to purchase it. So I just really liked how they worded that. And then I put in Airtable as an example of just a great format of an email, not only personalization, so just nice lot of white space. There's bullets, it's short, it's sweet, but it also says, looks like it's not time for you to upgrade. That's okay. We'll be here when you're ready. So obviously these people were interested in Airtable at one point, but they now aren't, or just that time frame of emails came to a point where, hey, these people are probably not ready to upgrade. So this is the email they send out. So it's another great thing for segmentation and personalization is that they're really tracking these people and what they're doing from an email perspective, from using their product, from upgrades, from not upgrading, and sending it out a real personalized email based on what data they're collecting on their users of Airtable. So I thought that was really a great way to not only segment, personalize. And then Loom, this was another great one about, again, segmenting and personalization. Welcome to our community of 14 million professionals, how to get started, how to use the product. Like, it's a great welcome email. So when people are enter a new customer or whatever it may be, they're getting this welcome email to welcome them with a video and some content and so forth to get them to start utilizing the tool, because that's why they bought it. So yeah, I thought these were just some great ways that we can think about when people are thinking about what we sell from a solution standpoint and how we can really cater to what messaging we need, where they are in the funnel, whether or not they're a customer or not, are they in the upgrade status, did they forget something. So great kind of segmentation and personalization, all different ways that we can incorporate it into our email today.
Yep. I love these. Send time optimization. So letting AI decide when to hit send. So this is a really interesting thing, and some email service providers or marketing automation platforms actually have this. And the way that it works is that it collects the data and it collects data on each of your different people. And then it tells you, or it doesn't have to tell you, it just, if you turn on send time optimization, it predicts the perfect time for each of the contacts. Now, it's not perfect, and we're going to go over those limitations and cautions in a few slides here, but keep in mind it's not perfect. And it may not have the person's timing exactly right, but it's going to say that, one person opens emails at 10 o'clock in the morning. Somebody else opens emails at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Somebody else opens them at 10 p.m. at night. So it's a really interesting tool to use to predict some of that. When is the right time? Have you ever used this, Amiee?
I mean, the interesting thing is from one of the companies I do contract work for, I just realized this. MailChimp will actually tell you this best send time based on the audience and saying, hey, you should send it this time because this is the time your audience opens it. Yeah. So I tested that theory. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, if maybe your tool, whatever tool that is, tells you the best send time optimization because of what you've sent in the past and when people have actually opened it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and there are some tools that'll even, if you turn it on, because when I was going through these slides, I was like, let me do a little research on send time optimization, what that means. And there are some that'll say, okay, this is the best time. This is when you're going to get the highest click-through rate. But then there are some that'll say, this is your this is your list of people, and you're sending it to that list. We are going to dribble it out for all of the people specifically based on, let's say the fern segment opens at 10 o'clock in the morning. Those people are going to get it at 10 o'clock in the morning. The exact same message is going to go to the Celeste segment at 2:30 in the afternoon. The exact same content. And then the people who are in the Luna segment or whatever that is after hours. Okay, it's 7 p.m. That group of people, we know they perform better, so we're going to send it to them at that time. So it's the exact same message, and it's dribbled out throughout the day, based on the historical data. And
I
they
love that
say
idea.
it's kind of cool. And they say that you're supposed to get increased open rates because of this, improved click-through rates, higher conversion rates. They also say that maybe you might get improved sender reputation. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that because I know sender reputation is a little bit of a black box for me. So I'm not going to say that that's guaranteed. And I would hope that any marketing automation platform isn't going to guarantee that. But because people are opening and clicking, more than likely it means that your sender reputation is going to have a green check mark next to it because people are interacting with it and they realize it's not the sender, the spam houses of the world realize it's not spam. So it's a very interesting concept. I don't know that I've ever used it. I've used what you've done before, with like, okay, when's the best time to send? But I've never done something based on
almost like a drip campaign, but not a drip campaign.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I think it would be neat if there's anybody on the call that's used this before. I'd love to hear from you. Just pipe in on the chat or at the end of the conversation or now, whenever you want. So moving on to the next, oops, that's back. Predictive content. We've touched on this a little bit. I don't think everybody realizes how much you can, and this isn't just predictive content, but it's content put in there based on custom fields that you have in your marketing automation platform. And I don't think people realize the extent to which you can personalize these messages. You can do images. You can change images based on any data that you have in your database. So based on zip code, you could change an image. You can change the headline. And so this illustration shows you like the offers can change based on geography or based on their job title or based on their company name, all of that kind of thing. You can have a barcode or a coupon based on all of this information. You call out their city. You can get so granular with this customization and personalization, and people usually think of it as just one big, huge content block, or it's first name, or it's first name and subject line. You can do so much more with it. And so I wanted to use this image because I want people to remember that so many things can be customized throughout the email. Yeah. Amiee, have you ever used an image? Like, have you changed images based on?
I haven't used images, but I've done content blocks based on certain criteria. So whether they are, one of the emails we sent out was if they were a partner of this ISV, they got this content, but if they were still a prospective partner, then they got the other content. So we've done that type of, and then of course the CTA was different too. So the button went, obviously if they were a prospective partner, they got a different thing versus if they were already a partner, then hey, we want them to take the action of going to this webinar versus, oh no, you need to learn more about our partner program first, kind of thing.
Right. Well, I'm going to challenge you to use image.
All right, I will challenge my image. I'll let you know. I think that image thing is cool for industries, right? Because obviously if you have content tailored to industries and you can really differentiate the different areas in this email based on industry, obviously image would be huge for that, because obviously you want the image to focus on that industry that you're sending the content out for.
Right. And as we talked about at DynamicsCon, like if you're targeting someone who works in construction, putting, even if it's a stock image, putting a construction worker as that image versus someone who's working in finance and putting someone behind a desk, you can customize it that much and it'll draw, potentially it's going to draw their attention if that image is specific to that person or to that person's industry. And I think that's huge. And people don't always leverage that part of customizing content in an email. People are thinking more like what you are, which is it's a huge content block. And so personalizing it with city and all of that kind of stuff is it again, it draws that reader in. It allows them to, hi Anya. It allows them to the message to be personalized to them and really draw them into what you're trying to sell them or what you're trying to say to them.
And really the goal is the more personalized you can be, the better. Because obviously if this email is really catered to this person, then they're going to know it's catered to them. They know, okay, these people really get me, right? And so they are going to take that action. They are going to open this email. They are going to do something because you've gotten that granular with the content that really spoke and resonated with that person.
Yep. So this is an illustration. I pulled this from Influence, and it's just a sample, but it gives you an idea of everything that you can do. So these automated journeys that we do in workflows, AI can adapt the content and timing based on all of your engagement. So what I'm illustrating here is on the far left, you have a group of people and you send them an email. And that's that teal box. And from that teal box, there's a decision that happens. And whatever that decision is, and it's usually an open at this stage. I'm just going to, for this illustration, it's an open. Did they open? No. Then they go on the top string. So they didn't open, they're going to get another email. And then we're making a decision. Now, did they click on that email? If they didn't click on that email, I'm going to send them into a wholly different group, and I'm going to treat those people completely differently. I may build another workflow for those people. If they did click on it, then they get a third email. Now, the string on the bottom is, okay, now they opened the email. The second teal box on the bottom is to send them another email. Now we're going to wait a period of time. And after that period of time, they're then going to get another email. And then they're going to get an SMS message. And then if they said stop in that SMS message, then they go into another group. So this is the kind of a large idea of how you could use this. Most people just do configured decisions on, yes, they opened, no, they didn't open, or yes, they clicked, no, they didn't click. But there's so much more you can do, and there's timing delays and all of that. And again, this is all AI. And this, as we touched on earlier, this is where I started my AI journey, was building workflows like this, using the computer to do the timing for me, make the decisions for me, instead of me having to do it manually. Because I've been in email so long that I had to do it manually for a long time.
Me too.
And so when I finally was able to do something like this, I was just like, oh my gosh, my job has completely changed.
Yeah, I do love being able to do these automations and workflows and sequences, because you can really, like I mentioned in the partner event meeting, it does take time to set these all up, but it's almost like once you set it, forget it, right? Because you've set it all up on the back end, it's going to work its magic for you. And then you'll get all of the analytics and stuff afterwards and see where everybody went through that process in this workflow and measuring and all that, and where they
so
go.
you can go on vacation.
Yeah.
And your workflow is still
exactly.
working. And you're on the beach.
Because summer is all about vacation. So we want to make it easy as possible.
Yes. So, limitations and cautions. This is the asterisk in this presentation. There is so much bias in the training data. Like, you need to be really careful. You need to review this. Make sure don't just, ask the AI for information and then just go ahead and send it. You could be infringing on copyright, which is those legal and ethical implications. Don't over personalize, because people are personalized fatigue. There's so much personalization fatigue out there. Um, yeah, it's just there's so many problems that can happen. So make sure, and this is the key here, human oversight is so important. Amiee, do you have any examples of when AI went off the rails or any oops moments you're willing to share?
There have been times where, I mean, a lot of the time, not all the time, but like sometimes it's the wrong year that they put in there, or sometimes they use the wrong, when I'm creating content, use the wrong ISV that I'm talking about, or they mix up things, or they change the layout, or they change the time, or they change like weird things, right? Things that you really wouldn't notice unless you reviewed it and made sure it was all correct. So there's been a ton of oops moments where and I'll tell them, hey, this is not right. You can't say this, or you can't do this, or you
Right.
can't change it up, right? And I will tell it to correct itself because I want it to remember that for next time when I'm doing it again, so it doesn't make that same mistake.
Mhm.
But yeah, or I'll say, where did you get these statistics? Because I don't see
Yes.
it in the content I shared with you, right? So that's like the huge one, I think, is when it starts using those other outlying things that you didn't necessarily put in there. Um, Making sure that you're correcting it, because obviously it's a language learning model, right? It's learning as it's going, but you want to also teach it as it's going and call it out as it's going so that it remembers it, because it does remember it.
Yep. And Anya's note in the chat, laughing at yourself when you get mad at the chat GPT. I mean, my chat GPT is my marketing manager. Like it really is. And so, I mean, I'm saying this isn't right. And it, again, it is learning.
Mhm.
Um, we, on, I've done things where I've asked chat GPT to write a blog post and the blog post seems really familiar and I ask it to cite it and it's literally word for word a blog post that's already on somebody's website.
That's not good.
So human oversight is
Yeah.
still really, really important. Like you can't take it at face value. And it's not, I've asked it to do a data analysis for me and it got all the numbers wrong. All the numbers. And so I had to go back in there. Now the conclusions it was drawing were accurate, but the numbers it was citing were inaccurate. And so I had to go back through each of my charts and be like, oh no, it wasn't 10% there, it was 12%. And really make sure that all of that data was correct. Um, but you can yell at ChatGPT and be mean, and you can't do that to a real person. That is true. Add
That's the
links
best
to some.
part, right?
Yes, exactly. Add links to someone's LinkedIn page or website often gets it totally wrong. So yeah, check links carefully. And yes, ChatGPT is very bad at math. Yes, I was at a presentation in Austin this May, and somebody was doing a presentation all about AI. And in that presentation, they showed that AI will tell you how to cook spaghetti in gasoline.
Wow.
I think it's since been corrected, but just be careful what you ask it because it will come back and tell you to do things that you probably shouldn't do.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us on this call probably already do this already.
I would hope so.
I would hope, yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we've got 3 AI power-ups, 3 challenge or six challenges here for everybody after this call for the next, let's just say over the next quarter. And I would love it if when you do these things, reach out to me, reach out to Amiee, and let us know how they went. So 3 AI email tests to run. Build a campaign using 100%. And Amiee, I think this was your suggestion. Build a campaign using 100% AI assistance and A/B test it against one using traditional methods and see which one performs better. I think if you have the bandwidth to do it, if you don't have restrictions on using AI, try it out, see how it goes, and let us know how it works.
Yeah.
Do an AI generated subject line test using 2 different language learning models. I think this one's really cool. So pit ChatGPT against Claude or Copilot or
Subjectline.com.
subjectline.com or any 2 tools. Give them your email and have them generate subject lines and test them, pit them against each other and see which one wins. And then I like this one too. AI calls to action are all the same. They're all the same. So to make your AI create your call to action and see how it performs. It might go better. It might be worse. Who knows? But see how it does.
Yeah. And like I said, put their name in it, make it personalized sometimes.
Yeah. Yep. Try it out. See what it works. So, and then we talked a little bit about tools, but so try 2 AI tools to try this quarter. Try a different language learning model than what you're using to create content and see how you like it. You never know. And then if you have access to a send time optimization tool, I would challenge you to use it if you're not already. Amiee, it sounds like you've got that one checked off already.
Yep.
And then finally, mindset shift. AI is not your replacement. AI is not going to take our jobs. It's your creative fairy dust, let's just say. So think of AI as the assistant who preps the stage. It's going to suggest ideas. It's going to help you optimize timing. It's going to crunch your data for you. It's going to do all of those things, but you're still the one who is in charge and delivering the performance. So use it to speed up your ideation. That's how I use it all the time. Use it to uncover hidden trend that you didn't necessarily know about. I mean, we all are on social media and different channels all the time, but we can't catch every trend, but AI can. Maybe have it write your first draft and then again, tweak it, optimize it, change it. And so try one of these things. I would love to hear what everybody tries and how it turns out. Do you have anything else to add there, Amiee?
And also just keep learning. And one thing that I do, especially for subject lines, especially for email, things are always changing, always evolving. There's always new trends. There's always new things we can use to make our emails better. So just trying your best to keep up with what's going on in the email space, because it is something there's always something out there that can help you make your emails better. It's always, like I said, it's always evolving and changing, and there's always new tactics and tools and strategies to try. So just making sure that you try and stay up to date with what's working and what's relevant right now as well.
Yep. So that is all we have today. What questions do people have? Any questions?
Everybody's so quiet. It's always how my webinars go as well. I'm like, ask questions, please.
Yeah, right.
Or comment or anything.
You guys just did such a good job covering the material that you left nothing left unanswered.
Thank you.
I'm sure I have questions, but I joined so late that you probably answered it in the beginning, so I don't want to ask, but I can.
Well, it's being recorded, Anya, so you can always watch the first half, and then you know how to reach us. You can email us any questions you want.
I would just like everybody just to put in the chat, if you have a moment, like what is your biggest issue regarding email right now? Is it open rate? Is it click rate? Is it creating content on a consistent basis? What do you feel like is the biggest obstacle with your email right now, your email strategy? Just for I just like to know.
For me, it's having the time to do all the wonderful things that I want to do. That's my problem with like everything. That's my problem with my hobby. That's my problem with everything. Yeah, having strategic plan on what to send and staying regular.
One idea that I started doing, Anya, is if I have a LinkedIn post that did really well, sometimes I will put that in an email and send it out to everybody, because obviously if it did well on LinkedIn, it will do well on email and vice versa. Because not everybody sees your LinkedIn post, not everybody reads your email.
Yep.
So
It's true.
I'll take myself off mute if you don't care. I feel like sometimes we send very piecemeal, like an email here, an email there. Oh, this LinkedIn
Okay.
post did good. Oh, this did, but I don't feel like we have a strategy of what people expect to receive from us,
right.
or how often they expect to receive, and we can't seem to get ourselves into kind of that regimented mode, and then I don't end up sending.
I do
as
mine
much as
once
I
a month
should.
because I know that's what I can handle, and it's usually a Friday afternoon.
But you very consistently send newsletters, send this and this. Maybe I need to go with a newsletter
Yeah.
route.
Yeah, I would say so. Make it easy and just do once a month.
Yeah. When I started at my job, they were sending out 8 emails a month. And we're a
I mean, if it's
3-person
different audiences, great.
we're a
But
3-person team, 2-person team at the time, one
That's
and
a
a half
lot.
person. And I was like, no, no, I don't have the time for this. I have all these other things I want to do. So now we send 2 emails a month,
it's way more
2
doable.
regular emails a month. When we're promoting something,
Yeah.
obviously we send more, but we send out just the newsletter a month instead of 4 on each side of the business. It was too much.
No one wants
Start
to share what they're struggling with: open rate, click rate, content, all of the above.
Everything. Well, thank you all for sticking around and being here with us today. And I hope your emails have a little fairy dust on them over the next quarter, and some magic happens.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank
you so much
everyone.
for joining us.
Thank
you,
you.
Amy and Monica, for presenting today. Next month's marketing meetup hasn't been launched on the meetup platform yet, but it's coming soon. Also securing some more guest speakers for the rest of 2025. So please reach out if you're interested in either speaking at one of these monthly meetups, or if you have any topics that you would like to be covered that you have a request for, and then I can go out and find a speaker for that.
And just a shameless plug, I do have a podcast called Channel Up Your Marketing Podcast for you to get even more tips on marketing. So Monica's been on it, Anya's been on it. So Kelly, I got to get you on it.
You do.
So yeah, Channel Up Your
Awesome.
Marketing Podcast can help as well. So thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Thanks,
guys. Have a
everybody.
great day.
Thank you.
Happy Thursday.
Thank you.